Hey guys, we're going to be checking out the Xposed module Xuimod today. I have no idea if that's how it's meant to be pronounced, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it, so yeah, let's do it. Okay, so at the top here you've got a few system UI tweaks. I'm not going to spend too long on these because I don't think they're the most interesting part of this mod, but if we tap into clock mods, you can see we've got enable seconds, bold clock, and you can now see we have the seconds ticking and it's in bold. You also have some other stuff like letter case and custom format. If you mess up your custom format, just leave it blank and it'll reset it back to default. Just turn those off and we'll check out the next one, which is battery bar mod. Now, when you turn this on, you won't notice anything different straight off the bat. You have to restart the system UI. So we'll just wait for this to come back online. And you should notice I now have a blue bar on the top. This is a battery bar. This is what 61% looks like in a battery bar format. So there is some customization here. You can customize the height. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can also customize the actual color of the bar and see what happens when it gets below a certain number as well. You can also change the position. I have this in the status bar, but you can have it in your navigation bar if you have that activated. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to see there. We'll turn that off for now. And lastly, we have notification mods. And if you turn on the random quick settings tile, if you turn this on and restart the system UI, when you pull down your quick tiles, you'll now see that they're a random color. And I actually think this is pretty cool. It looks kind of Windows, Windows Phone-esque. You can actually change the random colors if you want. So right now they're all just picked blue, but you can change that to red or whatever color you want. And I actually kind of like that. Okay, so moving on to animations, and this is where this mod gets really good. So we'll start off with the Listview Animations. Tap into this, tap into Listview Animation, and you'll get a big list of different animations. This is just preference to what you like. You'll have to go through them and test which ones you like. Right now, I'm just going to click Wave Right. And there's an easy way to test this within the app. You just click Test Listview, and you'll get a big list where you can actually see the animation you've just picked. So you can see they're coming in from the right, and this is system wide. So if you go into your settings, which is a list of course, you'll see it's now using this animation. Same deal with applications. So if you, for example, use Twitter, that's a list app, it's going to use this animation when it kind of lists them. So you can see that there, it works really well. Let's go back into the mod. And you have the Interpolator here. Now, this is kind of hard to explain, but it does make a difference. Let's just pick, I don't know, anticipate an overshoot and test it again. You'll see it's now a little bit different. It comes in a little bit quicker. It kind of bounces around a little bit. It does make a difference. So you'll have to test those out for yourself, but you can customize it quite far. You also have the animation duration, so you can make it quicker or longer. Let's just make this a little bit quicker, see what happens. Press OK, list view. And yeah, you can definitely see it's quite a bit quicker there. So a lot of customization. You can customize this how you want, make it as quick as you want. Pretty awesome. You've also got a persistent cache here, and I've got this set to animation and scrolling. I felt it helped in the smoothness and overall speed of applications. So for example, Twitter here, you can see it looks very smooth while using this animation now. There's no problems with it. Looks actually really awesome using this animation. So yeah, that's your choice. And you also have Blacklist Applications. This is really important, and the reason is certain applications just do not like you messing around with the list view animations. One of those is Facebook. You can see here, it just breaks the application. It looks horrible. It's an absolute mess. So Facebook is one of the applications you're going to need to blacklist right here. So just hit add, scroll down till you find Facebook. And that's it, it's added. So when you go back into Facebook now, make sure, of course, you restart Facebook, otherwise it will still use that list view. It's now just going to use the normal animation, and Facebook just works as ever as it normally did. Next up, we got the system animation, and if we tap into this, it basically allows you to change any animation you have on your device. So if you go into animation controls, you can do that all individually. Turn it on, make sure you tick the prevent app overrides, otherwise some apps will just keep their own transitions. And you have all these different options here, for example, move to back animation, all those different ones that you normally do. And you can see here, launch from home screen animation. So anything you launch from the home screen will have a certain animation. You can change that here. You can pick, for example, I don't know, slide in left. And if we go back to the home screen and we launch an application, you'll see it now slides in from the left. Now, you can see it was kind of slow there. So you can actually just kind of change that animation from here. You can make it faster. And then if we try the same thing, you'll see it's a lot quicker. So there's loads of different things you can change in there as well. I'm just going to leave these off for now. Window transitions can also be customized, but you can see here it requires a reboot to take effect. So I've actually already applied one of these and rebooted my device to make this a little bit quicker. You'll notice the difference in the transition straight away. You can see that looks pretty cool to me. Now, there are about 5 different ones to choose from, obviously the default in ROM ones and then some other ones. I've chosen the absolute bottom one here because that was my favorite. You'll have to just go through them and see which one's your favorite. You'll also notice a difference when you're in an app and you actually tap into one of the options. It's a different transition, and also when you go back. Underneath that, you've got your input method animation, and this is when the keyboard pops up. So you can see that's how it normally pops up. We can change that animation to, I don't know, slide in top. If we do the same thing, if we do the same thing, you'll see it slides in from the top. So again, there's loads of different ones to choose for there. You can actually change the exit animation as well. Maybe you want it to fade or something. Let's have a look here. And it now fades away. You've also got another interpolator as well, so you can change all those same things that we could, if you remember, at the beginning of the video. And again, you can change the duration. So there's loads of things to actually customize here. And right at the bottom, you've got some framework tweaks. Now, generally, I don't touch these because I've got Gravity Box to do most of this, but we'll just have a quick look. You can disable volume keys, enable the lock screen torch. Scrolling mod actually allows you to change the way your device scrolls. So this is pretty awesome. If we tap into this and turn it on, the first thing we have is the overscroll distance, the maximum overscroll distance when at the end of a scroller. So this is set to 0 normally. And if we just check that out, you'll see when you're at the bottom of the scroller, you can't go any further. You just get that little white animation showing you you're at the end. So let's just make this a little bit obvious and put it to 400. If we do the same test now, you'll see that we can scroll further and actually see that we are at the end of the list. There's nothing left. So that's what that allows you to do. We'll leave that on default for now. Next up, we have the overfling distance, the maximum overscroll distance when you fling the scroller to the end. This is set to 6. Let's change this to something more obvious, 400-ish. And when you fling it to the end now, you'll see that, there you go, you can see you get that kind of bounce back effect. That's what that is. I've made that a little bit longer, basically. There you go. That's what that does. Defaults and scroll friction. This is basically what the iPhone has set to pretty damn high. Now, the default value is 150. Let's just change this to, I don't know, 1280. If we do the same test, you'll see that it now has a lot more friction. I can't flick it quite as far on one flick. It stops it. That's essentially what the iPhone does. And again, that will go through every application you use. So let's say, for example, Twitter, you can see when I scroll now, it doesn't quite jump as far as it would normally, which is essentially how the iPhone works. So we'll leave that as default. And max fling velocity, the maximum velocity to start a fling. So this is set to 8,000. If we put this to 10,000, you'll see a fling here, and you can just fling to the end stupid quick. And lastly, we have the max fling velocity. Now, by default, this is set to 8,000, and this is basically how fast you fling your finger, how far it's going to go down the list. So if we change this, I don't know, to 800, and we test the list, you can see that even though I'm flicking it quite hard, we're not really getting anywhere in the list. So obviously you can change this the other way and change it to 10,000. If you do that now, just a quick flick will pretty much take you over halfway down the list. So you can actually change that right there. And lastly, in the framework mod, you have the other mod section. This just allows you to use classic recents and volume panel timeout, things like that that I don't really use. And right at the bottom, you have toggled launcher icon. So you can actually take the mod icon out of the app drawer if that's something you want to do. I'm going to leave it in there for now. But there you go, guys. You can see there's a lot you can do with animations. It's actually a really cool mod. Definitely give it a shot. Peace out.